Hello everybody, SpiritGaming here, and today I would like to welcome you to the complete assassin guide. So, if you're wondering what talent should I run, what core should I run, what stats should I focus on, what are the best allies for assassin, what are the best talents, deep talents, everything you want to know, you will learn in this video right now. We will be talking about what assassin is good at, the core, stats, PvP, PvE talents, deep talents, allies, everything like that. So, make sure you stay tuned and watch the whole video if you want, or if you don't want, there will be timestamps in the description for each and every segment of this video, so it would be nice. Also, I will do a guide on, let's say you don't have multi-strike, right? You're playing Blademaster and you want to try out Assassin, right? So I will have a build for that, a build without any multi-strike, but that is gonna be in the end of the video, but there is still gonna be a timestamp down below for that as well. Also, I will kinda make a level 90 build, so yeah, everything is gonna be in the description down below. And let's start with what are assassins good at. So assassins are good at PvE. They're the best, maybe arguably the best PvE class, especially for dungeons. For dungeons, there is no other class that is better than them. Then for the group PvPs, they're kinda good, not the best, but they're good. They can actually be very good as well if you know how to play them well. Assassin is a class that rewards your skill the most, not like Blademaster, not like any other class. So assassins, if you're good, you will be good in PvP as well. Not the best, but you will be good, especially in 1v1s. It's probably one of the hardest classes to play, but if you can actually use your crystal coffin well enough, if you can time your skills well enough, you can actually beat even some Blademasters that are not on par as your skill. So that is that's what assassins are good at and what they're bad at. So next up, I want to talk about the core setup. The best core setup right now at the moment is 9 fire, 5 wind, and then you want to add either 2 earth or 2 others. I personally would add 2 earth just for that little bit of tankiness, but if you want to focus just on damage and don't need any other tankiness, maybe we have focused on motors a bit more, go with 2 water, it's gonna be better for you. So that is the best core setup you want. You can actually run 7 fire, 7 wind, you can actually run 9 wind, 5 fire, but it's only up to you, although 9 fire, 5 wind is probably gonna be best for you. For the stats, it might be a bit confusing for you guys right now, but bear with me, I guess. On the screen I probably will show you what stats you want to run, right? And let me tell you, I got the charts for multi-strike, crit strike, and cooldown reduction as well, although cooldown reduction does not work the same as it works for other classes, and for assassin it works way different, the cooldown reduction. You don't need that much cooldown reduction to get 10 seconds off of your cooldown skills, right? So let's start with the stats, I guess. So you want magic attack and earth attack, definitely, and you want to focus at first until you get 30,000 exactly, or 30,000, a bit more than 30,000 I guess, multi-strike. You want to focus that. After you get 30,000 multi-strike, I will explain later why you should get that amount. After you get 30,000 multi-strike, you want to focus solely on intelligence, dexterity, crit level, and AP as well. So basically, after you get multi-strike 30,000, you want to forget that stat, make it stable on 30,000, and then focus on intelligence, dexterity, crit, and AP. For the cooldown reduction, what was I talking about, right? Cooldown reduction does not work the same as it works for all other classes. So at 21.5 thousand cooldown reduction, 21.5 thousand, yeah, cooldown reduction, your crystal coffin will actually have a 30 second cooldown timer. So you don't need 33.6k like all the other classes to lower a 40 second cooldown skill to 30 seconds, right? You just need 21.5 thousand cooldown reduction for that to work. So focus on a bit on that. You eventually get it from pets, allies, and stuff like that, but if you get that cooldown reduction to 21.5 thousand, there will be no tomorrow for you, and just go on and focus on the damaging stats solely. For the EX, that's it by the way for the stats. Oh, I forgot to mention about the multi-strike. Why you want it on 30,000? Well, when you hit 30,000 multi-strike, there is a 50% chance that you proc your multi-strike, right? If it's below that, it's not gonna be 50%, it's above that, it's still gonna be 50%. But if you want to make it, let's say 55%, right, you need to upgrade 10,000 more multi-strike, so it's kinda not worth it. Although for crit it's even less, but crit works very well later in the game. Way better than multi-strike does. Multi-strike is very good for now, and that is why you should focus until you have 30,000 of it. So focus until you have 30,000 multi-strike, and then focus way more on crit strike than you do on multi-strike. That's it. That's it for the stats, guys. Now let's jump into the EX abilities. What are the best EX abilities, and what should you focus on EX abilities? Again, I will tell you again that Assassin is very playstyle focused, and you can change your playstyle however you like, but I think that this works best for everyone, and I think this works best for me, right? So for PvP you want DXs Void and Scorch. Scorch lowers your enemy's defenses, and you always want to use it before you use full combo on someone, because it lasts, I think, 10 seconds. Let's check it out. I think it does last 10 seconds for PvP, yeah. It does last 10 seconds, so you want to use your Scorch, right, and then just demolish the enemies with your abilities. Just use your full combos, which I will show you later on as well. Not too much combos. For Assassin though, Assassin is very hard to play because you need to read the situation right and then use the skills you need. There's no specific combos. There are 2 or 3 abilities that work well together, but everything else not so much. For PvE, back to EXs by the way, for PvE EXs you want to use Black Hole and Fire Tornado. These are the PvE EXs, but not for dungeons. For dungeons you want to use another EX, but I would show you later on what you want to use for dungeons as well. But for PvE, not counting dungeons, you want to use Black Hole and Fire Tornado. That's it, right? For PvE in dungeons though, you definitely want to have that Void on you. Definitely need that Void, and then use Fire Tornado as well. So that's it about the EXs. You can run Dustbuster for PvP, you can run Vortex for PvP as well, but Scorch is gonna be definitely the best unless you want more defenses, which is up to you. I said again, playstyles are very different for each assassin. And yeah, allies. This might get confusing again for you guys. Assassin is a pretty hard class, as I said, and it's not just hard to play, but it's hard to actually build, right? On the center you want Airy. Why do you want Airy? It gives you percent damage on physical and magical attack, I guess. It gives you percent damage, and also the passive increases your crit damage, which you will definitely need as an assassin, and for every class as well. I will do Blademaster complete guide later on, probably this week, but we will see what happens. But crit damage is one of the best stats in the game. That's why you want Airy, and also Airy does increase your percent damage that you do with her ultimate ability. Why not Mingzilu, you ask? Well, as I said, yes, if you are missing a bit of multi-strike and that passive from Mingzilu will help you a lot, then sure, go ahead, but if it doesn't, then go Airy, it's gonna be way better. For supports though, you want Mingzilu. Mingzilu is the best support in the game and will stay that forever, like that will stay forever. Mingzilu is the best ever and will be the best ever, as I said. So Mingzilu for support, Luminous for support, it does get that bond, and then you want Johan Shu. I don't think there's a bond with Johan Shu, but he does work very well with you and increases your crit with his ultimate, which is awesome. And then you either want some other ally that does a lot of damage, that gives you damage, or you want Cheesy again for that bond that gives you a bunch of defenses, a bunch of HP, I guess. And yeah, that is basically the allies. As I said, it's different playstyles call for different builds, so this is the best thing in the world. This is the best build that you can have right now. Then let's jump into the biggest topic. Let me just exit this so it doesn't bother you guys. Let's go to the talents and deep talents together, right? So for talents, let's jump right into the plans. Actually, I will go to the plans at the moment, like right now. So you do have multi-strike and you have everything that you need. You're running the best build at the moment. I'm not because I'm a Blademaster, but I'm not running the best build at the moment. But if you are, these are the talents for you, right? So For PvE, focus on range form way more than you do on melee form. In melee form, you just want to go into that for like 3 to 4 seconds, pop your skills, and then go back into range form and do everything like that. Why is this build so good for PvE, and it is the best PvE build, right? As you can see here, everything gives multi-strike, man. Everything gives multi-strike, which is awesome. Works well with multi-strike, I would say. This ability, a lot of damage. This ability gives you a lot of damage. This ability does a lot of damage because it increases the chance you do multi-strike, and this ability gives a lot of damage when you hit multi-strikes. It's super awesome, dude. That is why Assassins do work the best with multi-strike out of any other class. That is why it's the main stat, as you can see here. But for plan, let me go back to the talents, I guess, right? So, why is this build so good, and why do you want to stay into range form more? And you might ask, well, doesn't multi-strike work good with melee form as well? It does, but not as good as range form. So, Dissonance, this is the ability that's gonna let you stay in the range form the most. So how that works, how that ability works is, whenever you hit a multi-strike, there is a 20% chance that Prelude Dawn, I guess that is how I'm gonna call it, so excuse me if I pronounce it wrong, but Prelude Dawn will actually have its cooldown reset completely, which is super awesome. Basically, you can spam that ability. Right now I probably won't show you the best, right? But you want to go with Shuriken and then just pop the ability and hope for multi-strikes. As I said, I don't have much multi-strike, so it's not gonna work best for me, but if you have a lot multi-strike, it's gonna work super good. So yeah, that is basically the gist of this build, I guess. That is what you want to use. Hope for multi-strikes, that's definitely the best thing you can do. And yeah, this is the PvE build. You might want to change something up, but that depends on you mostly. And yeah, these are the deep talents as well. Deep talents, I almost forgot the deep talents, guys. So deep talents, you want to focus fully on the left tree, get everything up on the left tree, then get 5 points into triple impaling, which increases your multi-strike level by a bit, and then you want Shadow Mastery for that little bit of extra damage. And yeah, that is basically it for the PvE build. Fire Tornado, Black Hole, as I said, you want to change Void if you're running dungeons. Next up, let's go to the PvP build. This is a group PvP build, so bear with me, I guess, again. You want this, to use this, gives you basically more damage when you hit multi-strikes. Crystal Sonata, why this instead of Dissonance, guys? Because in PvP you do actually want to start going to melee range even more than you have been up until now. And why is this build so good, and why is this, I guess, talent so good? It's because in group PvPs especially, people don't really check out their surroundings. It's not that easy to do, you know. Group PvP, you're fighting 10 players at once, so inflicting delay to like 2 to 5 people is gonna be awesome. It's gonna help your teammates that are fighting the enemies, it's gonna help you that you're fighting the enemies. So that is why Crystal Sonata is that good, right? You definitely can go with the same build as this, you definitely can do that if you just want to run around and hit that, but also in PvP, multi-strike doesn't work the same in PvE as it does in PvE, because players dodge out of your abilities, right? They dodge out of your Dark Raspberry, and they dodge out of your Nocturne Luna, which is Moonlight, I think it was. But yeah, there are big translation problems with Assassin, but it is what it is. So that is why I prefer Crystal Sonata over the Dissonance. Although, as I said, you can definitely change that up. Then, for group PvP, Echo of Soul is good also, but not the best. Let me actually change it. Excuse me, I forgot to change this, I don't know why, but excuse me, as I said. You want to run Funeral Bells. Why do you want to run Funeral Bells? Well, that's simple, right? Did it change? Yeah, it did change. So, increases your invisibility time, which you will need in group PvP events and 1v1s as well. But after invisibility is broken, the next Soul Fissure will reduce targets a magic defense by 30% for 5 seconds and inflict target with delay effect for 2 seconds. How do you want to use this ability, right? It's same as Berserk works on on, I guess, Blademasters, right? You don't want to use it immediately. You want to go into this form, into shallow form, use your combination of second skill, third skill, fourth skill, then go third skill again, I guess, depending on how you want and depending on the situation again. Then, just before this skill comes off of cooldown, you want to use Soul Fissure, immediately go into ranged form and use all of your abilities that way. It's gonna do more damage, definitely more damage like that, because as the talent states, right, the talent says that it's gonna decrease the enemy's defenses and also inflict delay. When delay is basically a stun in this game, so that means if they're stunned for 2 seconds, they will definitely be in your Nocturne Luna for 2 seconds, and they definitely will be in your Dark Raspberry for 2 seconds, which is super awesome, guys. Extremely awesome. Even if they are there for 1 second before they dodge, it's gonna be super ultra good. So that's what you want to do. Then Nibelungen song, I don't know how to pronounce it, never mind. I will just call it a song, which is okay. I think it's gonna be okay with you guys. So this works both in melee form and rage form. This is a pretty okay, yeah, I forgot to change the plan right there, but this is a pretty okay talent for melee form as well, but it works super good for range form, with multi-strike, that is. So when in hunter form, which is the rain form, multi-strike earthquake has a 20% chance of casting a domain underneath the target. It does 62,200 magic damage, which is a nice amount of damage, right? But when you're in dark shallow form, so this is where you can actually run 2 water in the build instead of third. This will basically give you tankiness and give you shields. This talent will give you shields when you are in the melee form, which is super awesome, right? So that is why we are using this over some other talents. For the deep talents, as I said, you either want, well, I haven't said this, but you either want to do this if you focus more on range form, or I will show you the 1v1 melee, I guess, build, or you want to focus this more. So let me actually, so yeah, if you want to focus on rage form, you want to go with this build, this deep talent build, but if you don't want to do that, you should go with this right here. As you can see, I'm upgrading multi-strike again, right? I am. And then 2 or 3 points in this. Why is that? But with this build, with this deep talent build, you want to focus gunslingers the most. It's because of this deep talent, right? It reduces their physical attack by 825 damage and stacks up to 3 times. 3 times stacking for physical attack is basically right now, as of right now, is gonna be 3.5 gear pieces negated in terms of physical attack, which is super awesome. Gonna help you a lot against both Blademasters and both gunslingers. Against gunslingers is gonna help you the most because you, let's be honest, you don't want to focus those Blademasters and you want to focus those gunslingers. So yeah, that is basically it. That is basically the build for PvP in group PvP, I guess. Warmonger, always use Warmonger for PvP, use Groundslayer for PvE. Then you want to use Scorch, as I said, lower your enemies your enemy's defense. It's gonna be super awesome. Void again to dodge a bit. But for the C-level talent, guys, yeah, I forgot to mention that you can actually change a bit if you want to focus more on the melee form, or you feel like you're not tanky enough. Use Heroic Sonata, use Magic Melody if you want to use your melee form more. But if you're range form more, you should use Triple Variation. As I said, guys, Assassins are very playstyle dependent, and I can't teach you how to play Assassin, right? Yeah. Next up is the 1v1 build, which I do recommend the most. I recommend you to go melee form for most of the time when you're 1v1s, except against Blademasters, I guess. Except against Blademasters. Why is that, you ask? Well, you get a lot of invisibility, you get a lot of damage, and also enemies in 1v1s especially do dodge a lot out of Nocturne Luna and both Dark Raspberry, so it's pretty hard to hit those abilities. While you have this talent right here, let me go to this page. Let me actually activate it so it doesn't go back every time I remove it, but okay, never mind. This is basically mostly because of Death Area and Funeral Bells and also Magic Melody. These three work in a combination perfectly with each other, especially in 1v1s as a melee form user. So yeah, you want to use Crystal Sonata for that slight chance that the enemies will stay in it, or if you are fighting, let's say, an Assassin, you want to use this right before their crystal ability, their crystal coffin runs out, so they definitely will get stunned, but you will need to time it perfectly. That's another thing I said still gets rewarded a lot with this class. So what you want to do is, in this form I guess, Obsidian Edge increases magic damage taken by target for 25% for 5 seconds. Okay, so basically what this ability does is making you do 25% more damage against the player you have a target on. If target has Nether Mark, Obsidian Edge will not remove the mark and resets Nether Mark remaining time to 10 seconds, right? Nether Mark is inflicted with this ability. And what you want to do is, actually, let me show you. This is basically one of the skill rotations, one of the only skill rotations that you kinda must use. Sorry, I just pressed on the dash, that you must use. So basically what you want to do is, in the 1v1 is use all your skills. So let's see, Shuriken, use all of your skills and immediately go into melee form. Then use your first ability, second ability, fourth ability, third ability once. And then if the enemies are running away from you a lot, then you want to use your third ability again. But if not, then you want to, let me just go into the cooldowns again. You want to use this ability once and then this ability twice immediately, just so you do a lot more damage. Although I would definitely recommend to not use the third ability twice and wait until the cooldown is back up on this right here. Let me do that again. So you want to do this, use once, and then wait for this ability to come off cooldown and use this only once again. So that is basically the skill rotation for this build, which I always use that. There's no reason to not use it with this build especially. Yeah, it's not changed. Okay, this is changed. So that is basically how it's played out. Let's go into deep talents now. This deep talent tree is gonna work good only against gunslingers and blademasters, and it will not work against soul dancers and assassins. Although against soul dancers, if you time their abilities right, assassins do have a good time against them. Basically, you will do more damage than they get healed with Dark Rhapsody and Nocturne Luna. You basically want to aim these two abilities when they are on their circles, on their healing circles, and that is how you play against them, right? So this is basically the build you want to run. Always use Wrongmonger, use Scorch and Void if you don't want to use Scorch, because if you don't hit Scorch, you won't reduce the enemy's defenses, right? So if you don't want to use Scorch, use either Thunderclap, you can use Creed, and I guess you can use Vortex or Dustbuster for those defenses. So it's up to you, but this is what I recommend the most. Now let's go for the 1v1, but in ranged mode. Remember Dissonance, guys, right? This was one of the best abilities in the talents in the range form. Well, how you want to use that? Heroic Sonata gives you a bit of defense and also damage. It's a very good talent to have for ranged form, because you won't have that much defenses, I guess. Dissonance, pretty good, not pretty good, the best. So what you want to do is, especially against Blademasters, this works very well. You just want to run around and pray to God that you would get multi-strikes just from your melee attacks, not melee attacks, excuse me, normal attacks. So basically what you want to do against Blademasters is run, attack with your normal attacks, and spam your Bijou on, nothing else. That's basically it. Yes, sure, you definitely will need to change into melee form, but yeah, more focused on ranged form than melee form. That's about it for this build. Just use funeral builds. I showed you the skill rotation for that as well. You want to use all of your abilities. Let's say go into melee form first. Let's just wait for my melee form to come off of cooldown. Now what you want to do is go into melee form, use all of your other skills, and then go with Prejo Dawn, and then immediately go into ranged form, because the enemy will be stunned for 2 seconds, and you will basically hit a bunch of your abilities for sure. So that is what you want to do with this skill. It wasn't activated, sorry guys, but yeah, that's basically, I kind of showed you what you want to do. So yeah, that is basically what you want to do with this build. Void, definitely use it in PvP, definitely use it in PvP. So for the deep talents, this is what you want to run, of course. And yeah, this is basically it, guys, for the best, I guess, builds, best talents, best everything for Assassin. Now let's jump into the bonus talent build. So the bonus talent build is actually gonna be even better when we get to level 90, and I will show you right now. What you want to do is basically focus mostly on the melee form, but use your shuriken ability. I call it a shuriken because that's way better, that sounds way better. Let me exit this out again, sorry. I want to do the talent. Ladder of Honor is activated. I think we have enough players. If you don't, I kinda have to hurry with this video. So let's see. Yeah, Requiem and Moon Serenade, definitely one of the best, if not the best combos out there, and that is only because this is gonna be the next deep talent Assassin unlocks, right? It's gonna do so much more damage. The shuriken is gonna do so much damage. And what you want to do with this build, let me see if it's activated actually. I don't want to mess stuff up because it won't work with anything else. This is what you want to use. Of course, deep talents, change them for melee form. Use those two EXs. So this is what you want to do actually. Use your shuriken on first. Use all other of your abilities, and just before the time runs out, press shuriken again. I messed up there, but let's go again. Let's wait for the cooldowns to get back up. I messed up, but yeah, I will show you right now. Just before the shuriken ends, use it again, right? So just before it ends, use it. It's gonna reset 5 seconds of it. Attack still, just kite the enemies, kite the enemies, kite the enemies, and then you want to use it. Pop it immediately, go into crystal form immediately, pop it again, and go into your melee form. That is basically what you want to do. Use your melee form skill rotations, and yeah, that is basically how you play this I guess build with these talents, right? Now this is the end for Assassin mains, right? This is the end of the video for Assassin main, but for Blademaster mains that don't have multi-strike, it's coming right up. So for talents, I do recommend you use this talent tree right here, guys. It is definitely gonna be one of the best. Maybe not for PvP as much. This is definitely gonna be the best for PvE because you don't have multi-strike. But for PvP, you want to use Crystal Sonata and also Funeral Bells. This is a PvP build, talent build, and this is a PvE talent build. So yeah, guys, that's what I wanted to tell you about the multi-strike. Because you don't have enough multi-strike, just do this. You won't need to care about multi-strike. Probably won't do as much damage as main assassins, but it's still, this is the best way to play it as a Blademaster main, especially because you're melee as a Blademaster, and you definitely will get a lot more use as in melee form than on any others. So yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. I know I have to go into Ladder of Honor right now. I'm late like 2 minutes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. Subscribe for more daily Raja content. I'm trying to fix my videos. I try to do more videos daily and everything like that, especially now we don't have to go to school anymore, which is super awesome. Gonna have so much more time. And yeah, this video was super long, I know, but timestamps are in the description everywhere. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching the video, and bye bye guys, see you later.